Hi everybody, welcome to the latest update. Today is Thursday, the 26th of March 2020, and I'm back down here in my working corner. My vacation ends at the end of the day today. So as of tomorrow, back to 2 monitors, back to work. I brought all my equipment together. I popped in my office this morning briefly just to get a few things that I didn't think to take with me 2 weeks ago when I left work, thinking I was going to come back to a normal Monday. But didn't happen that way. In addition, instead of coming back next Monday, I decided to go back a day early to get caught up and to assume the role of the manager job that I have been in for some time now. So that's the scoop from here as my personal life goes. Back to work. As of tomorrow morning, these screens will be on, and I'll be toiling away doing the things that I do, and I'm happy to do it. Happy to have the opportunity to work from home. I work for the Canadian federal government. They've provided us with online ability to get into our servers and to do our work. And some people are declared to be critical employees, and I'm one of those, so I'm able to get in when others maybe can't. I'm very lucky to be able to do that as well, so I can complete my work on time like I'm used to doing. All right, here's the lay of the land as far as the COVID-19 situation goes here in the island. It's pretty well static. We had 3 cases announced yesterday as usual, but then they added 2 more in the afternoon after I had taped yesterday's message. So now we have 5 cases of COVID-19, but the good news is 1 of those 5 is now thought to be recovered. They're testing negative, I presume. So we only have maybe 4 active cases of COVID-19, although I think that 5th case will continue to be counted as a COVID-19 case. So that's good. So I was out a little bit this morning, did a few errands, things I had to do. I maintained social distancing at all times, or I tried to. Good grief, people are stupid. I was at the grocery store this morning here in Stratford, and there was this nice lady that was ahead of me, and I kept my 6-foot distance behind her as she went down the little cubby hole to get her shopping cart, and I backed off because I knew she'd have to come out with her shopping cart and then clean off the handle and clean all around it because they provide cleaning supplies at the station there where the shopping carts are. So I waited back with my usual distance as we're all told to do. And then dumb bozo walks in, walks right between us, goes and gets the shopping cart and heads inside. Didn't clean it, didn't maintain distance between myself and the lady that I was trying to protect. And of course I'm trying to protect myself too. He just breezed right in like, come on, man. Do you have a TV in your house? Do you have a radio in your car? Do you have a newspaper? Are you able to read? Are you able to listen? Are you just stupid or you just don't care? Anyway, if I see him again, I'll recognize him. Worst of all, after he came in, 2 more came in behind him. And as we all know, people are like sheep. If you have 50 people standing at a don't walk light and it says don't walk, and 1 person starts to walk anyway, probably 45 of those 50 people will just start following them because they don't look at the light. They look at the person who's walking. They presume that, oh, they can walk. That means I can walk. And away they go. And maybe there's carnage that happens afterwards. I won't be in it because I don't walk until the light says I'm allowed to walk, even if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Kind of anal, kind of stupid, but it's the way I operate. There's rules. I follow the rules. If everybody followed the rules, life would be great. But all it takes is 1 stupid dum-dum to do what he did this morning in the grocery store and spread his whatever all around all the products and then go to another grocery store and spread more whatever. And the whole thing crashes. Even though everybody else is doing the right thing, it just takes 1 idiot to ruin it. So don't be a dum-dum. I know you're not. If you were a dum-dum, you wouldn't be watching this. You wouldn't care about this stuff. You're doing something else. All right, so rant over. I feel better now. The caseload here is still where it was. We're all doing the right things except for Bozo Head and probably a few others like him. And so far, so good. But we do expect that there will be community transmission at some point. All 5 of the cases that PEI had are related to people who were away and came back from international travel, either the United States, the Caribbean, or in the case of one guy, the UK. In the case of another gal who got diagnosed yesterday, she'd been to Spain, I think. So everybody got it somewhere else. No one seems to have yet got it here on the island. All right, so that's the upshot from that perspective. Now today's video, after I've done all the advertising part about how we're doing, today's video is going to pick up on the travel log. What I'm trying to do before I have to go back to work is get as much of these travel accounts prepared and delivered to you as soon as I can. Today will be our first day in the Edinburgh area. What we did was we came into Edinburgh from Aberdeen on the train. We immediately got off that train, got on another train, and continued on east a couple of stops to a place called Newcraighall. And Newcraighall is maybe about a 10-minute train ride from Edinburgh Waverley Station, which is really just a commuter distance, probably quicker than most people would be anywhere on the bus. I know I can't get from here to the office on our local bus service in 10 minutes, so it's a pretty good deal. Anyway, we took the train all the way out to Edinburgh Waverley. I've compressed the 10-minute drive into about, I think it's around 40 seconds. I did a speed up thing in the middle, as you will see. But when you get to the other side and you get off at Newcraighall, it's a lovely outdoor platform. It's one of many suburban type platforms that you'll see all around the UK. You get out in the open air. In my case, I waited for a while because I wanted to get some footage of the train leaving. So the manager of the train, I think his name is, we have conductors and we have other officials for passenger train travel here in North America, but I think in the UK they're always called the manager. Anyway, this gentleman with the uniform gets off the train, looks around, looks for whatever dangers, makes sure all the doors are closed except the door he's using, and then he blows his whistle and he hops on the train and away it goes. After that, just to show you how close the train platform is to the hotel we were staying at in Newcraighall, I also did a speed up walkie-walk thing for a little while longer that will take us all the way down in a safe area around the parking lot and crossing the street at the appropriate crosswalk, waiting for the green light to cross, of course, and then along the other side of the street to our room at the Premier Inn, which is right next to a great little restaurant that you'll see. There's a sign advertising steaks that night. We stayed at that hotel for 3 nights, and it was our home base while we were in the Edinburgh area. So the following day and the day after that were full-blown Edinburgh travel days, and you'll see those videos coming up. I don't want to promise them tomorrow because when I get into work, if I've got about 180 emails to catch up on, most of which will be ones I can easily get rid of, but some will require an answer, some will require me to do actual work, so I will look after those, and it may take my whole day to do that, and I don't want to give you something that's really late tomorrow night just because I said I'd do it on Friday. So I'm not going to say I'm going to do it on Friday. You may still see something on Friday, but I'm not going to say I'm going to do it on Friday just so that there's no expectation, because I know some of you can't sleep until you see one of these videos. So I hope you like that little piece. In our case, we used the BritRail pass, which was good for intercity travel, but in this case, the intercity train that goes, well, trains, plural, that go from Edinburgh in all kinds of directions, also make stops in the suburbs, just like the Glasgow trains. When the one we took from Glasgow to Ardrossan in a previous video, it stops in Paisley, and it stops elsewhere all the way along. So you can use these trains not only to go from large city to large city, but also the locals can use the trains to get off early. Not all the trains stop at all the stations. It's rather confusing for someone who's not familiar with the system, but we got it figured out. Anyway, the transit system all over the UK is pretty good. Not as good as it used to be, but still pretty good. Another quick thing, Newcraighall, and I talked about this in yesterday's video, it's very close, or it has as part of the overall complex, just underneath the overpass, there is a large shopping area. So it's a lovely little neighborhood. And if I were to go back to Edinburgh, I would go back there. I would stay in the same hotel. I would use the same train. I don't think I saw anything anywhere else in our travels that was as convenient and as easy to get around as that. And now that I've made that my custom place, my comfort place, I would probably want to stay there again. So, again, hope you're having a great day. Don't touch your face. Wash your hands frequently. Practice social isolation or social distancing, I guess. Social isolation, pretty well the same. And have yourselves a wonderful day. We'll be back in a couple of days at the latest with a little more about Edinburgh, and then it's York, and then London on our final day where we tour the British Museum. and then we fly home via Heathrow, and we just can't wait to get back. When all this blockade stuff is over with, we can't wait to get back in travel mode. And watching these videos, producing these videos, has made it all the much more agonizing for me to not be traveling, but it raises the expectations in me for next time. The next time I travel, or we travel, I'll be a better vlogger. I'll know better how to do the footage thing. This was very experimental when we were away this last time in 2019. So it's very unprofessional. It's very rough around the edges. And even my production skills are only slowly coming along. So I appreciate your patience with me. With that, have a nice day. See ya.